Hello, everyone. It's time to end the silliness and all the brainwashing. I mean, the truth is caught up. And you know, a problem with a lie is that people who believe in lies, they never tell their children that they're lying. And they have their children believe these lies. And what happens is when the creators of these lies pass away, and their children who have trusted what they say go to investigate these lies, they end up making a fool of themselves. For instance, they believed their parents when their parents told them that life started in Europe. But when the research was done, it was found that life started in Africa and that Africans are the mothers and fathers of the human race. We are the Homo Sapiens. But that wasn't enough. They said that they thought they were the master race. They called Neanderthals stupid. They said if you're a Neanderthal, you're stupid. And that was the joke. You want to call somebody stupid, call them a Neanderthal. But then what happens? Scientists do what scientists do. They investigate. And what happened? They found out that Africans are 100% Homo sapiens and that Neanderthals and that Caucasians are 9% Neanderthals. I think 49% Neanderthals. Now all of a sudden, the people who lie, their children, have to face this lie. And now that turns their world upside down. Turns it upside down. And guess what? They have no choice. Now, you either believe the truth or you believe a lie. But guess what? Nothing intelligent comes from a lie. Nothing intelligent comes from a lie. Now, Deuteronomy 32, which is one of the parts of the Bible that the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews use and believe in. I heard that they came from the Ukraine. Don't quote me on that because I haven't did the research. But anyway, let's not waste any time because Deuteronomy 32 describes exactly who the Hebrew Israelites are. It ain't about no ham. It ain't about no sham. It ain't about none of that. It's about who were the people that were put into slavery. Those were the cursed people. And that's all it is about. And these are the people who the curse was put upon. So let's begin. And we're going to start with Deuteronomy 28, like I said, and we're going to start with verse 32. And when we go to verse 32, it says, Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fall with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hands. In other words, you're not going to be able to stop this. There will be no might in your hands. And your sons and daughters will be given to another people. They will be captured and taken into slavery. Does that sound like the Holocaust? If you want to believe what you want to believe, then it can sound like anything. An empty glass of water can be a full glass of water if you want to believe what you want to believe, but we're not going to go there. To go on, let's go to 32. And I'm going to try to go through this quickly. Let's go on to verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and upon shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. We're not going to share in the fruits of our labor. 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. We're talking about Christianity. We're talking about Mormons, Quakers, whatever you like. And some people served the slaves in Islam. Okay, now let's go to 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. An astonishment. They put black people in zoos. In astonishment. They put black people in zoos. Now, the Jews didn't go to a foreign land, and they spoke German. German Jews spoke German. So therefore, they do not fit the description of God's chosen people. Let's cut down to 41. And thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Sons and daughters are going to be sold into slavery, captivity. What do we have to figure out here? I mean, it seems rather obvious to me. 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. A slave and slave master relationship. 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Same thing. I should have kept that because that's the same thing that 43 states. Now let's go to 48, which I put a check mark by 48. I must really like this for some reason or another. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. We have pictures of slaves with yokes of iron above their neck so that they can't run away. We've seen pictures of these. And you can look and you can Google them and you can see them. No Jews, white Jews, had yokes of iron in the concentration camps put upon their necks. It didn't happen. It did not happen. And this, Deuteronomy 28, is the description of what God's chosen people went through, the Hebrew Israelites. Let's go to 49. I like 49 too. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Eagle. What nation is represented by the eagle? The United States. I can rest my case here, really. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. We didn't understand the tongue because we were Hebrews. And not only that, we wrote and we spoke Hebrews. We wrote and we spoke Hebrew. And one of the oldest churches in America is a church built by black people. And at the end of every row of benches, there is Hebrew written there. At the end of every row of benches, there is Hebrew written there. And I wish I should have. I wish I would have researched it so I could give you the name of that church. But you can Google it yourself. Another one, 50. I checked 50. A nation of fierce countenance. Fierce countenance is racism. Fierce countenance is racism. Why? Because being a slave in other countries was like being an indentured servant. It was like being an indentured servant. The slaves, and sometimes the slaves even married the masters. It was like you did not lose your humanity. And see, and that's now we can go to the movie Birth of a Nation. A blatant lie. A blatant lie. That was the start of white supremacy. White supremacy. Created where? The land of the eagle. The United States. The land that told you Columbus discovered America. And had the audacity to teach it in school. And then give the lie a holiday. That's as bad as putting Rocky in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Guy wasn't a fighter. You built a statue to basically a cartoon character. You wanted a white hope so bad that you just made a movie, and then you gave him a statue. Does Muhammad Ali have a statue? Does Mike Tyson have a statue? My goodness, you're talking about carrying something to the... And then you put him in the Hall of Fame. Can't even fight. Can't even fight. Oh well. But the last one I'm going to read is... The last verse I'm going to read insofar as describing the Hebrew Israelites is 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a description of God's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, and what they went through. And I'm going to tell you that has nothing to do with the Holocaust. People weren't put in slavery in the Holocaust. How long did the Holocaust last? What, 6 years or something like that? They weren't having, were they having babies? I mean, they weren't having babies and having their babies sold. I mean, the Holocaust was horrible, but you can't compare the Holocaust to 400 years of slavery and the millions and millions of lives, the millions and millions of people who lost their lives, and you want to compare that to the Holocaust and talk this anti-Semitic stuff? When you, so-called white Jews, Portuguese Jews, sold Hebrew Israelites into slavery. You sold Hebrew Israelites into slavery. You bought and sold Hebrew Israelites. It was a business to you. And you had a hand in making the movie Birth of a Nation, which is a lie. And then you have the audacity to call people anti-Semitic based on what you did historically and based on what you're doing to the people, to the Palestinians. Hey, man, that's something else. But in conclusion, and further proof that you are not the Hebrew Israelites, let's see what Jesus said about you. In Revelation 2, verse 9, and in Revelation 3, verse 9. And Jesus was a Jew. Let's see what Jesus, the Jew, had to say about you. Revelation 2, verse 9. And these are the words of Jesus. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Talking about Hebrew Israelites being rich in spirit. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. And I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, this is in the Bible. I didn't say this. It's in the Bible. And guess who gave me the Bible? You gave me the Bible. You gave me the Bible. And then you said, don't teach them to read. But guess what? We learned to read. It was foolish to think that we would never learn to read. That is so simple-minded. But we learned to read. You didn't plan on that. Now, let's go to Revelations chapter 3, verse 9. And let's see what it says. In fact, Jesus basically repeated himself. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. Jesus said it. I didn't say it. Which say they are Jews and are not, but to lie, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So even though God put us through this, God always loved us. He always loved us. And I want to say something else. God's chosen people, you would think God's chosen people would be exceptional. You would think that they would excel in sports. You would think that they would excel in music, in dance, in science, in all the disciplines. African Americans only make up 13% of this country. And we have so, I mean, when I'm looking at the invention, sometimes I wonder just what did Caucasians make? When we talk about the real McCoy, we're talking about an oil lubricating machine that was invented by a black person. That's the real McCoy. Even without education, we invented the cotton gin, the filament for the light bulb. We actually, the Webb telescope. Black men. You even made a movie, Hidden Colors. And in that movie, you showed your true colors. Black women figured out how to operate the computers. A black woman did the computations to take astronauts into space. But I tell you this, if a black man had done that, he'd have landed that bad boy and brought it back here. So don't call us stupid. And then there's another thing that I want to address. Why do you call black people monkeys? Monkeys don't have lips. We have lips. Monkeys don't have that. Our skin is melanated. Monkey skin is not melanated. A monkey skin is pale. We as black people have long legs. Monkeys have short legs. There is no relationship to where a monkey and African American, well, Hebrew Israelites. You can't compare them to us. We don't have features alike. We don't have features alike. Like I said, we have lips. We have a butt. They don't have a butt. We do. We have long legs. Hey, we got long objects to have sex with. Primates don't have that. Come on, so let's stop the silliness. Let's stop the silliness. Because if I say what I should say, you're going to get upset. You're going to get mad. But that's not what, all I want to do is tell the truth. And the truth exists. 1 and 1 equals 2. 2 and 2 equals 4. It don't matter where you live. And all these different, and I'm going to tell you this, religions are man-made. They're man-made. And I'm going to tell you something. Do not confuse right and wrong with truth. Because what's right for me could be wrong for you. What's wrong for you could be right for me. That's right and wrong. That's not truth. Truth is 1 and 1 equals 2. Truth does not vary. It's the same everywhere you go. And spirituality is the seed of God that is in every individual. Every individual. And now, so let's stop this silly 400-year debate, or if it started in 1913 with Birth of the Nation. Let's bury this stupid stuff. Let's bury it and recognize our spirituality and try to ascend spiritually. Let's try to ascend spiritually. And I'm gonna in another video, I'm gonna tell you why Christians are taught to fear God. Because that idea of fearing a loving God is what causes people to become atheists. But that's for another post. But in the meanwhile, you all have a nice day. God bless us all. And let's stop with the nonsense, please. Because lies only make a fool out of the people who tell them. God bless us all. And like I said, c'est la vie.